Mike was off. I'm a genius. Mike Wazowski was Mike was off. Okay. Yes, some friends. Vedas was really, really excited about this stream. So I'm gonna let them introduce themselves in a second. Petunia, maybe bring her over onto your lap. We have Petunia sat in a chair next to us.
With the whole bed?
Just bring her.
Okay.
Okay. This is spooky. For everybody who is new since we hit affiliate, or who is watching this later on in a VOD, come here, Tony. This is our Phenomenite stream. The first of potentially many, or no more, depends. I'm going to tilt this towards you a little bit.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Wherein I sit sometimes by myself, or with a friend, in this case, and Petunia, and talk about phenomena, either true crime, fake crime, crime that is both true and fake, or paranormal, don't look at me like that, paranormal phenomenon, which is what everybody desperately wanted. So that's why we're talking about ghosts tonight. It was split between ghosts and aliens. And there's a lot to say about everything. So, we're gonna attempt to keep this down to an hour. I might go a little bit over, but we can't go too over. But yes, I'm so excited to talk about this. I also have, I slept with a fortune-telling tag on this, because I have been reading tarot cards since I was, a child, a literal child. And, I figured, hey, we could do that if we want. Attempt. Listen. Okay. So, speaking of string things and attempts, I'm going to attempt to let Vedas introduce themselves. Vedas.
I'm Vedas.
Vedas, you've been on my channel before.
I've been on the channel for Among Us.
Uh-huh.
Whenever that was.
It was last week.
Last week. I use they, them pronouns, and I am on Twitter, and sometimes on Twitch, but not very regularly.
Oh, I have your info hooked. That's what I forgot to do. I was going to make a command for it, but I'll just drop it in the chat right now so that everybody can see it, and it'll stick up to the top of the screen for a little bit.
When did you send me that?
No, you sent it to me. I asked you for this.
Ooh, the picture.
Oh, I don't know what I sent that to you.
I never got it.
I asked you if it looked like me. I have also, if you might notice, between yesterday and today, I have magically grown a mustache. It's because the mustache might be fake, but my gender euphoria when I put it on is real, and that's that. Petunia's down here sitting in the middle. She's gonna keep from getting spooked. Hi everybody. Sorry, I just saw the hello message. Okay, so I figured I was going to start this off like a high school essay. Also, don't mind the spooky lighting. It's because the room we're in is terribly, terribly lit. Thank you. Yes, it is very genderous. Let's start with, what the fuck is a ghost? This is like a real thing. The discussions about what is and isn't a ghost are incredibly,
they are innumerable.
They're broad, innumerable. Wow, bringing up the SAT words. I made a reference document for us that I don't think we're actually going to look at too often, but, so I grabbed the, dictionary definition of a ghost, which is the soul or spirit of a dead person or animal that can appear to the living. Which has a lot of, even that one sentence is pretty, you could break it down a lot, because, it says soul or spirit, and in a lot of circles, those are two different things. Not every circle, not every religion or belief system or whatever has them as two different things, but some places do. And then person or animal or feeling or
entity
vibe.
parallel dimensions. We
Like-
got outer rims.
Like a poltergeist, hypothetically, if you're gonna go, and we'll get into those in a little bit.
Those ones are angry.
They're angry, yes, but they were never people most of the time.
Really?
Yeah, or like demons are technically ghosts, depending on your definition. Ghosts. I have to make sure I never have to be on camera this much. Like, I'm normally just video gaming. So, but this is fun. I'm enjoying it. So I tried to do some cursory research on ghosts going back. I have a lot of, like, information off the top of my head about, like, just ghost facts, random. But if you look back in history, ghosts have been a thing that we've been worried about, like, as a humanity species since the very beginning, and it's because of the idea that humans can't just stop when you die, like, for whatever reason. I love how pale you're the ghost here.
I'm just too white.
There's always been rituals and things that you're supposed to do when a body dies, and some of them are, like, for hygiene reasons. Like, you want to clean up a body because, you know, when you die you get grody.
There's bacteria, there's gases.
Yeah, and even when people didn't know that, they knew, you know, this is supposed to be cleaned up. But the like, rituals of burying people with their favorite things or with certain objects that they might need later on. Boats.
Pets. Swords. Jewelry. Money. Food.
Yeah, I love you counting up on camera. It's something that we have almost always done. And almost every culture does it for one reason or another. And mostly it is to, like, ease the passing of... I keep putting things in quotes because this is, like, my scientific analysis. That's also in quotes. Jeez, I'm not even on camera. You're on camera. It's supposed to ease the, like, passing of this, like, spirit or soul or both that we cannot see, perceive, weigh, feel physically. We just, like, know is there. Science is very much like there are no ghosts. There is not a single ghost, not even one. None. Zero. 32% of Americans believe in ghosts, but they believe in bullshit. I am cameraphobic as if. Look at this, Virgo. Look at this. Me? Cameraphobic? Maybe in the, like, oh no, don't take a picture of me. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Anyway. Yes, that is to say that, like, we have always, on some level or another, believed in ghosts. And if you go back through history, and if you go back through books, like, ghosts have always been a story that we've told or something that we've feared. There's Pliny the Younger, not the elder, his son. I think it's very funny. That
Pliny Jr.
Pliny Jr. Little baby Pliny.
Little Junior.
He actually wrote one of the first ghost sighting stories.
Oh, Pliny.
No, Lil Pliny. He reported the specter of an old man with a long beard, rattling chains, haunting his house in Athens.
It was Diogenes.
Was it? Do you think so? And, like, it is a weird and specific thing. I also like the note of the chains.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I don't think there's any significance to it except that, like, chains weren't really a thing except for slaves in the Roman Empire, yeah? This is, like, times we need Jalen TM, because he's our historian.
Should I call him?
I mean, you could. He's not driving right now.
Would that be bad form on stream?
It would be bad. It wouldn't be bad form on stream. I answer my phone on stream a lot. Probably too much. But I just don't know if he would have the answer off the top of his head. But yeah, so ghosts have always been a story that we've told each other. It is like, you know, as simple as the ritual of, like, we are going to wrap her in her favorite blanket and bury her with it. Whether or not that matters to her. Like, it matters to us as a species. I care about I don't have any relatives. My great-grandmother being buried with her favorite china set because that means something to me now. It might not mean something to her, like, corpse. Oh, I'm so sorry you were on mobile AS. I'm gonna turn my mic down just a little bit because I'm loud. But yeah, it's essentially, a lot of the things that we think we're doing for other people, we are doing for ourselves and justifying that we're doing for other people, historically speaking and scientifically speaking. I don't think that makes it any less correct. I think it's fine to bury somebody with something that was important to them, whether it be because it might be too painful to, like, see and exist around that object, or if you think it would bring them comfort in another place, if there is this other place, if you believe in it or not, or maybe you just think this set of china deserves to be in a hole in the ground, and granted just happens to be going into a hole in the ground too. So let's just...
Now they'll never know that the china was the murder weapon.
Oh yeah, because they're not going to exhume that in a hot minute. That's a different stream. Okay. I did also want to segue a little bit into... a little bit into, like, the scientific explanations for ghosts. There's a lot of them. I mean, one of the things is, as you go through time, it's one of those things where people say, like, oh, before X thing happened, we never saw Y. Before the year 1600 or whatever, we didn't really talk about ghosts. Ghosts have always kind of been in the public conscience. When people started writing stories about them and started putting them out into the world as something, like, to be scared of, people didn't care about zombies until, like, the 90s. No, more like the 50s.
50s?
Yeah, as early as
Night
the 50s.
of the Living Dead? When did that come out?
Night of the Living Dead was, I think, peak zombie fear.
I thought it was the first one. Oh,
either way, I mean, there's always been, like, again, zombies are one of those things that there's always been the idea of them to some degree.
This is how zombies walk.
Is that how zombies walk? Little Pete's?
Little Pete's. Just sneaking around.
So scientific explanations, besides just straight up imagination, which is a lot of, like, what a lot of, like, journals and things and people who study this will say. Ghost hunting offshoots, anything paranormal, is considered a pseudoscience. Can't go to school for it, can't get a degree in it. Like,
can't tag it on Twitch.
We tried. The closest we could get was fortune telling. But I mean, and, like, I have a degree in forensic and criminal science. Like, I know a lot about science, and I know that empirically they cannot prove that ghosts exist with scientific tests. You can toss out...
Legally, real estate agents do have to tell you if a property is believed to be haunted.
In some states, not in all of them.
Oh!
Yeah, not in all of them.
Well, I would hope they tell me. I ask landlords all the time.
You can ask, yeah. And, I mean, you can always research and find out. But, because most of the...
died at 116 Northwest 35th Street. And then I found out that's not an address.
Oh no! The real haunting was the house all along! Wasn't there an American Horror? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no, I only watched the one about the witches. It really stressed me out.
Fair enough. But, okay, so you're taking me off track.
I'm sorry.
I'm talking about science. Yeah, you cannot prove that ghosts exist scientifically, because there's always an explanation. Occam's razor is, like, a big, big, big thing.
Who's Occam?
He's a man.
Alright.
He's a man who is obsessed with horses and zebras. Occam's razor, yeah, I guess I should define that, huh? Occam's razor is the violin of the song scared me.
Spooky, scary violins and
I'm kicking you off my stream. Occam's razor is the idea that if you hear hoofbeats, you should not assume that you're listening to zebras. That's, like, a very bad rephrasing of it, but, I'm gonna think you're supposed to think horses before you think zebras. Your first thought is probably the most correct. And that applies to a lot of ghost things in a scientific way because, oh, the door slammed from out of nowhere. It's probably just a draft. You know, it's not a ghost. We have a room that was formerly a patio that is now bricked in, so that it's technically an indoor room, and the door to that used to swing open all the time, and we would blame it on a ghost because we thought it was funny, but we didn't actually believe we were being haunted, in this house at least. But yeah, things like mysterious footsteps, or I don't know, what are some other symptoms of ghosts?
Hearing people talking when they're not around,
right.
Furniture moving around, the shower turning on.
Yeah, and a lot of things are, they're explained away for one reason or another. From as early as like the 1920s, carbon monoxide poisoning has been an explanation for hauntings of various hauntingnesses. Because when you have carbon monoxide poisoning, you can... I'm going to see if this works. Hang on. Does this do anything? That does too much. You can go into like fugue states and forget. There's this really fun and famous Reddit thread about a guy who's convinced that you just have an asshole roommate. Furniture moving means you just have an asshole roommate.
What if you live alone?
You have an asshole roommate anyway. You just don't know about it. But yeah, carbon monoxide poisoning, it can cause you to go into fugue states and do things that you don't realize that you're doing. Intense sleepwalking. There's a word for, I have it on the reference doc. Ooh, here I thought we weren't going to be using it. Where is my boy tonight? Oh, hypnagogic hallucinations, which are like waking dreams that you experience when you're transitioning from being asleep to being awake. Hello!
Hello!
Are you talking? You want to come talk about ghosts?
I only have like an evening break. So
oh, okay. I love you.
I love you too.
I also love you.
I love you too. How's the ghost?
They're ghosts.
They're crunchy.
Rosette redacted. But yeah, so like between being asleep and being awake, which links to people who experience sleep paralysis will see ghosts a lot of the time, or things, because when your brain is still in that transitionary period from sleep to wake, it's just going to start throwing images all around. Other fun things that can explain ghosts are, and sometimes do explain ghosts, are geomagnetic fields. I love that theory because I don't know how we would prove that. The idea that geomagnetic fields are affecting your temporal lobes and like producing these experiences. Yes, this is the Teeth Apple Magnus shirt. Visit Redbubble. Is it Redbubble? Or is it TeePublic?
Both.
Okay.
That yours specifically is from TeePublic.
Okay.
But you can get them on both.
Visit TeePublic or Redbubble.com and look up Rusty Quill and you can buy this shirt. I just love this shirt. I would have gotten this shirt for $100, but it was a Christmas present from Rue, so maybe he did spend $100.
I did not.
That's good. Sound is something that can also trigger ghost and ghost-like experiences. Because...
Radio waves?
Yeah, radio waves. The 5G.
Which G in sign language is this?
G.
G.
Point. But yeah, there is a certain frequency, and I know I have read this article, I just cannot find it right now, or in my last 2 days of frantic Googling. Yes, that's the one that I'm talking about. They discovered it because one of the scientists in a lab was convinced that the lab was haunted, and nobody could figure out like why everybody was experiencing these like eerie feelings and like chills, and it felt like they were being watched. I love you! And it turns out that their air conditioner was giving off a weird frequency that like it vibrates at a certain frequency that I don't think you can actually physically hear, but you can, or I don't think that you can hear it, but you can physically hear it, like your eardrums pick it up and things, and it causes you to just go a little wild, a little loopy. And it is in fact such a well-known thing that if you, because this is what I thought to look up the article, air conditioning ghosts there are a lot of air conditioning companies that are like, is your house haunted, or are you maybe just in the service in the market for a new air conditioner? Like, they're being coy and clever about it, and I mean, good marketing technique, honestly. But yeah. It's just one of those things. There's 100 million reasons to explain ghosts, but there's always like one or two. Every time you talk to somebody who is, and I say this because I spent the day reading a bunch of articles about like people interviewing scientists about ghosts. There's always a story or something. So there we go. Emits a subaudible low frequency sound near 19 hertz in your vicinity. Yes, Vedas.
This is only vaguely related.
Go for it.
Cats purr at 26 hertz, and it's been proven that 26 hertz as a rumbling sound brings comfort to the human.
So that's really funny then, that there's only, what, a 7 hertz difference?
Mm-hmm.
And
one is extreme fear, and the other is
extreme comfort. I mean, it's one of those things that also proves, you know, more things affect us than we realize. Because you wouldn't think off the top of your head that a cat purring near you would make you feel so much better, but there it is. Here you are. I'm gonna say, but yeah, there's always something that like can't be explained, because you can run as many lab tests and things as you want. Like one of the articles that I read, they played a concert, and to some of the pieces at the concert, they added that frequency of the 19 hertz, around 19 hertz, and people felt eerie things about it. Or like they felt watched, or they had weird experiences. Only some of them. Only some of the time. But it still can't explain everything. I like the idea of believing in ghosts because
it's fun.
Besides the fact that it's fun even, there's just too many things in this world. It's the same reason I believe in aliens, I think. Mm-hmm. There's just too many things in this world for them to not be somewhat real in some way. Mm-hmm. Maybe not the way that we think, but like that doesn't mean anything.
Like energy can leave an impression. Like you stare at a bright light and the glare remains on your eye for a little while, on your retina. So why can't, like, somebody lived in this house for a long time, why can't an imprint of their energy just stay there?
Mm-hmm. And that's another like very common theory for ghosts in general. There's a really old article talking about ghosts that talks about how the ghost that you are watching looks like it is walking through a wall, but in reality it is following an old floor plan of the house where there wasn't a wall before, and that's why it is just going in this way. And that explains that, or that can explain, I guess, ghosts that do the same things or are always spotted in the same place. Your classic bed and breakfast on the East Coast ghost or Civil War ghost. Everybody over there in the cold and dark New England zones.
New England is spooky.
New England sure is spooky. And it's not because a lot of people died there.
Drowned in maple syrup. Which happened in Boston.
Ever haunting! Thank you for following!
Hey!
Welcome to our ghost stream. What?
Because ever haunting.
Yeah!
They're ghosts.
If you are here on stream to admit that you are a ghost, please feel free.
We would love to talk to you.
I would love to ask you some questions. So one of the reasons that Vedas was really excited to be on the stream, and why I even started it early for them, is because they have a ghost story or two.
I have several.
You have several. That's more than two.
I lived in Montana for 4 years.
That means nothing to me.
There's a lot of ghosts in Montana.
Oh,
also,
please tell us.
If you are a ghost and you're in this stream, can you tell me if ghosts have unions? Thank you.
Okay. Unionize the hauntings.
Anyways, so I lived in a little teeny tiny town in Montana for 4 years exactly. We moved in on Independence Day. We moved out on Independence Day.
There you go.
And over the years, a few spooky things happened. I will go in chronological order. So, I was 11, because I was in the 6th grade, and my friend Casey said that her closet was haunted, and her whole family was like, yeah, the closet is haunted, don't go in there. Which is funny, because gay. Anyways. And Oh, the mic still doesn't pick me up all the time.
That's the mic picks you up. It's the caption that doesn't always pick you up. That's fine.
And so being 11 and on top of the world and having nothing better to do, I was like, I don't believe that. I'm gonna go in the closet. And so I went in and I pushed the door a little bit closed, and they had taken like one of the hinges and the handle off of this door because they had such an issue, and they like shaved part of it because they had such an issue with it like just closing on people.
Thank you, AS.
And so I went into the closet and I sat down like there's nothing, and then I started hearing whispering. There were shadows moving around in the air, stuff started flying around, things were getting thrown, and I was like, okay, I need to go out of this closet now. And I could not get the door to open, and like I could see Casey through the hole where the handle used to be, and she was trying to pull the door open, and her dad ended up having to come upstairs and break the other hinge in order to get me out.
Dang.
So that was experience number 1 for me.
Are we keeping track? Should we be?
If you want to.
All right, that's 1.
And then the next spooky ooky moment I experienced was at my friend Roxy's house. We were home without adult supervision. Didn't tell my dad.
I won't.
And we were hanging out in the basement. I had just recently seen Beetlejuice for the first time.
Excellent.
And so we
Gay
decided
cinema.
to, draw a door on the basement wall and knock and, play around. And where we were standing in the basement, Roxy's brother Jake was up on the stairs, but like not out of my line of sight. Roxy was a little bit behind me, and I was to Roxy's left, so we kind of formed a little triangle. And we're just kind of talking and goofing off. And then,
Oh no, AS is gonna tell your dad!
no! Out of nowhere, we hear somebody go, hey, you. And we were the only people home. We knew that for a fact, because we'd already goofed off in all the other rooms. And Jake is like, that was Vetus, and I was like, that was Jake, but we could all see each other, so we knew it wasn't. And then as Roxy is like looking between us like, it wasn't either of you, what do we do? That's kind of weird. We hear footsteps start coming down from the upstairs, the second floor.
Ooh.
And Jake bolted up the stairs and out the door, and so we followed him, and then we stayed outside in the backyard for the next hour until Roxy's parents got home.
Did you tell Roxy's parents?
Yes.
What did they say?
They told us not to be fucking around with ghosts.
Well,
In those words.
don't be fucking around with ghosts. AS is gonna tell your dad.
No.
Alright,
Now
so
my
that's 2,
dad
yeah?
knows. That's ghost number 2.
Okay, we'll update the counter.
And then there were a couple of spooky ooky occasions in my own home.
Ooh!
So, the first one was Bingo. Was a bit of a
You gotta tell everybody who Bingo is.
Bingo is my older brother. And he was a bit of a rascal back then. And he went to his friend's house for like New Year's Eve, and then he stayed another day without telling us. And that night where he was first like missing, because we assumed he was still with friends, but of course we were paranoid that he was dead. My dad, who does not believe in ghosts, felt something or someone sit down on his bed and like tap him on the leg. And he was very confused by this. And then the next day I was on the phone with my mom while Dad was looking around town for Bingo, and I was like, Dad's out looking for Bingo, we think he's dead. And I gave my mom a very bad night because of that. Anyway, so that's number 3. Number 4.
Let me go edit the counter. I have to edit the
I'm
spooky
sorry,
story
I'm
count.
so
Oh no, it's going to be It really is. Oh, babies.
I'll buy this. And then, so spooky account number 4, I'm a ghost accountant.
So keeping track of it in a little file.
Bingo and I were downstairs because we lived in technically a 3-story house because we had a basement, but it wasn't finished. So we were in the living room, and Dad was upstairs sleeping, as dads tend to do. And we're just drawing. We have Ape Escape 2 playing so that we can listen to the music. It's great. And then we hear Dad upstairs start going, what do you want? You're pissing me off. And then there's a beat of silence. And Bingo and I go, Dad? There's another beat of silence, and then he comes down the stairs so that he can see us, and he goes, neither of you were just in my room. And we were like, no, we've been downstairs the whole time. And my dad goes, I thought somebody was standing above my bed and doing this in my face.
But your dad doesn't believe in ghosts.
But my dad still doesn't believe in ghosts.
What is his explanation for these things?
He's just like, I'm old, I'm paranoid, I teach science and physics.
Well, he does. It's true.
Yes. My dad is like, he's like, I don't believe in ghosts and stuff, but he does believe in witchcraft. It's kind of weird. He won't like actively say I believe in witchcraft, but he's very paranoid about it.
Oh.
So that was number 4. Are you ready for number 5?
I was not sure how many we had. Hang on. Let me go and update the counter. If this updates in real time, I'm just gonna leave this window open. Let's see. Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Woo.
That's fine. Keep going.
Okay, so number 5, back at Casey's house.
Okay. Casey with the haunted closet.
Casey with the haunted closet. We were downstairs, me, Casey, and Roxy, playing in the basement.
Again.
This was not Roxy's basement.
Okay,
this was
different
Casey's
basement.
basement. Lots of basements in Montana.
Okay. Got
it. And we heard, like, humming, and there was kind of this weird dusty smell, and we were the only ones there, because Casey's mom had gone to pick up little brother from daycare.
So that was 5.
That was 5.
Do you have more?
Yes.
Okay, keep going.
Okay. So, ghost encounter number 6. I was at home.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, a guy died in the bathroom at that house. Anyways.
Turns out.
Turns out. Sorry. And I was playing, not like rambunctiously, but my friend Sammy and I, we had this little like ball of fabric that we were just kind of like gently tossing back and forth while we talked, because we were going to go on a walk, but I was waiting for my dad to turn his phone on at the school so that I could tell him we were going to go on a walk.
Okay.
We're by this big window in the living room, and on the wall between the big window and the front door is my dad's bookshelf.
Okay.
And on that bookshelf, there was a couple of little decorative glasses that Bingo and I were given as gifts when we were younger. My dad's army bust thing that he got for some award, and his medals, and then a framed picture of Dad with me and Bingo when we were little kids at Epcot, and he's in like full dress regalia, and we're in very cute little outfits. Because we were babies.
Oh, babies.
And we're just, casually chit-chatting about...
Homophobic? I'm sorry, AS.
About, the internet, Pokemon, Homecoming, whatever, I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly, Dad's bust, which is very heavy on the bottom because it is made out of, like, a solid wood bottom, and then the bust is actually just plaster.
Mm-hmm.
The medals, and a couple of the books just all came flying off the shelf towards us. Only from that shelf.
Oh.
And it was not like the top shelf, it was not the bottom shelf, it was somewhere kind of towards the upper middle. We stop, I pick up the things and put them back, and we went outside.
Fair enough. That's 6.
That's 6. And then, so we were on a speech and drama trip, and we were at this...
Theater kid. Derogatory.
It was one of our few overnight trips,
mm-hmm.
Because there weren't too many places within our circuit where we had to stay the night. But Montana, things are kind of far spread.
I don't know anything about Montana.
There's lots of grass and it's beautiful. Anyways.
Thank you, Queen.
And the hotel was creepy enough on its own because it was built into an old railroad thingy, not station, but the places where they would unload certain cars and then load them back on. There's a couple still active in the town that I used to live in.
Okay. Yeah, so it was built into an old railway something.
Yes.
Okay.
And the carpet and the wallpaper in some of the hotel hallways looked almost exactly like the ones in The Shining, which did not help. But there was a pool, and right across the street there was an Albertsons,
mm-hmm.
and we were allowed to go across the street to get snacks from the Albertsons for the next day if we wanted to. And so we left to get snacks, my friends and I, who we have now added Sierra to the group, so it's me, Casey, Roxy, and Sierra.
Okay.
And we get our snacks. We go back. Everybody else from the speech and drama teams is either in their rooms or is in the pool, because there was a pool.
Only 2 places to be.
Yes. And as we are walking down the hallway towards the room we were in, we hear this, like, heavy bunch of footsteps just coming towards us, but there was nobody around. And it's not like somebody was banging on a wall, like, we could hear it coming towards us. And then it just stopped, and we were like, oh, ghosts, time to go to bed.
Pools are good.
I can't swim.
There we go.
Pools are scary.
That's our roommate, not a ghost. Oh. Are we on 7, or did we just finish 7?
That
finish 7.
That was 7, and so now number 8. It was speech and drama finals. We were in Helena, capital of Montana.
Just like My Chemical Romance.
Just like My Chemical Romance, Helena. And we were hearing this weird noise outside of our window, and this time Casey was not there, but Sydney was, so 5th friend.
There's too many friends for us to keep track. I'm going to have to draw a diagram.
The lore. And we kept hearing this weird sound outside that was kind of like somebody was both groaning and going woo at the same time.
Can you potentially maybe mimic that sound? I will pull the mic away from you, and then if you want to attempt to mimic that sound.
It's the only place with ghosts. It was kind of like an oh. It wasn't cartoony though. It was weird.
I was gonna say, were they playing Donkey Kong?
Like there is occasionally, like in very windy places like Montana, sometimes when wind goes down an alley, it kind of sounds like a low, like or whatever. But we were not near an alley. We were in a very nice hotel near the Helena Mall. And
It's back here. Okay.
And we were like, what is that noise? So we took a little walk outside. We didn't see anything. We went back to the room. We, like, parted the curtains, and we could see this, like, weird shape underneath one of the lamps in the parking lot. It looked like a person, but, like, bent wrong and very long. And then we closed the curtains, and we hid in the bathroom for a little while.
Not going to deal with that!
With breadsticks for Olive Garden because we had been treated to Olive Garden for dinner. So we had like a small takeaway container full of Olive Garden.
Nope,
breadsticks.
not dealing with that. That's fine.
And then my last ghost encounter in Montana.
Oh, number 9.
Number 9.
Wow, you didn't even round them out. Oh, can you say it like the Mojo Watch lady? Like,
I don't know who that is.
Number 9.
Number 9. Is that close? I don't know who that is.
That's fine, just go.
Number 9 was me, Sammy. You remember Sammy?
Yes, I remember saying.
Oh no, that's 6 friends then. Because Sammy, Sydney, Sierra, anyways.
Why are all your friends' names S?
Sierra's name started with a C.
Oh!
Roxy started with an R. Casey started with a K.
Thank you. Continue.
Sammy and I were walking towards Sierra's house, which was up kind of near the hospital.
Number 15, Burger King foot lettuce. Continue.
And it was not quite nighttime, but it was like 2 p.m. in the winter, so basically nighttime.
Okay.
And we kept seeing like a third shadow, like going the wrong direction when we would go under street lamps. So like our shadows were going this way, and then this third shadow was just going that way.
Cool.
And I don't know if maybe the street lamps in Quebec are real flipped up, but it was strange. It was spooky-ooky.
There was something strange in your neighborhood?
Maybe we can call that 8.5.
8.5, okay. I'm actually going to delete this calendar in a second, so... Because presumably you are done with your ghost stories.
I am, that's all of them.
Yeah.
Because then I moved, and I didn't see any more ghosts.
Street lamps are strange.
There's something strange in your neighborhood. Who you gonna call?
I don't want to get copyright stricken.
Electric company.
I have a few not quite ghost stories.
She wiggle.
Yeah, she does wiggle. I have actually never. I have felt ghost, but I have never seen a ghost.
Felt like, or
Both.
oh, okay.
So a couple of them, most of them, come from my childhood home, which, like, I wouldn't say was haunted, but is apparently rife with spirits, which is, again, in my mind in particular, ghosts and spirits are two different things. Some people would say, like, you know, like a ghost is a I'm trying to think of the best way to. Hang on, I just had a second where, many moons ago, when I was first running the ambassador giveaway, I had some dice, and they were apple-themed dice, and I was going to give them away. I was going to customize them by painting the highest number green and customize them and give them away. And then when drawing came, I couldn't find the dice.
And then you just found
I just found the dice. They're in my tarot box. Thank you. Sleepy Hollow! Woo! But yeah, so, like, I would say, like, spirits are potentially sometimes people who have passed, sometimes feelings that are, like, willfully here and either choose a place or a person to, like, attach to and either help or hurt. So, like, when I ask my tarot cards things, I'm asking things of my spirits. I'm asking them to give me answers or advice or whatever. You know, the sort of thing that people would say, like, you are tuning into your own subconscious for. Meanwhile, a ghost is a dead person. Or animal, I guess. I've heard a lot about, weirdly enough, ghost
cats.
horses.
Oh, yeah, actually, so I was reading the casebook of Carnegie the Ghost Finder the other day, and there was a ghost horse in one of them.
Wild, right?
Except sometimes it was just the guy.
Sometimes it's a guy, sometimes a
And
horse.
then he died.
It's just a furry.
The ghost horse got him.
But yeah, so like I said, apparently my childhood home is rife with spirits. There's tons of them, and I believe it because we were at the peak of my childhood. There was 5 of us with different spiritual sensitivities living in that home, and when I was a littler kid, it was myself, my sibling, and my mom, and just the 3 of us in the house. That's it. And we each had a bedroom, and we had chores and things, you know, normal-ish little kid stuff. And at one point, one day my mom tells me, you know, go do the laundry. She's like, grab my clothes from the hamper and go do the laundry. And I was like, okay, I'll go and do that. And I proceed to, sort of shockingly, honestly, because I don't think I ever did anything on the first ask when I was a kid. And she, like, nothing happens. I start doing the laundry, and then I hear from the other side of the house, full name, what are you doing? And, like, a snap. And I was like, I'm in the garage doing the laundry. Like, I can hear. Our house was 1 story, and it wasn't super big, so, like, you could hear basically across the whole house. And I was like, I'm in the garage doing laundry. And she came to the garage and, like, saw me there. And she was like, well, then, who was that? And she turns around and she walks back into my brother's room. And she said that she had seen, when I was a kid, I'd never cut my hair. My hair was very, very long, like all the way down my back. She said that she had seen a little girl looking out into the backyard with long, dark hair like mine. And so she assumed that it was me not doing my chores. And this happened a couple of times. There was also, she said there was a little boy who would run across our backyard sometimes, or hide in the corner. And there was an old man with a bowler hat who would walk around our house. And, like, our house, like I said, our house was not haunted with ghosts. These were, if they were anything, spirits. Because the house that I lived in was built in, like, the 60s or 70s. And the people that my parents bought it from were the first owners. and they were both alive when my parents bought it. So, like, nobody had, as of right now, I don't think anybody has died in that house. Maybe people have died on that plot of land. Nobody's died in that house. But it seems weird that a man with a bowler hat would stand in the corner of our yard, despite having not died there.
Maybe he was traveling.
I mean, he could have been.
Guest house for ghosts.
I won't say that I've never had a ghost attach itself to me.
Yeah, don't ya know about them spooky ghosts?
I've been
They
on
like to roam around.
I've been on the Haunted Mansion ride at Disneyland many times.
Me too. Actually, I've been on the one at Disney World, which is the other side.
The other one.
The other one. Oh god, that made me dizzy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, more a couple of more about my hometown, I guess. It's like I said, the house isn't old. The town itself isn't old. It only became a town in like 70s, 69 maybe, 1969. And it used to be mostly farm because we were like a center for growing olives or something like that. Ooh.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I just didn't want it to accidentally end stream. You're fine. But there was a lot of things that, when I say we, I mean like my family unit, because again, I never saw things. I felt things or heard things, but I never saw anything. But like that we would see we would go on late night walks around town, partially as exercise and partially because that was the only time we could ever stand each other as a family. Olives are gross. I stand by this. I ate an olive once when I was 5 years old and I threw up.
That's it. Black olives with cilantro.
I don't believe in olives. They're against my religion.
What am I gonna put on the Seder plate?
Olives are only fine religiously then. But yeah, there was a couple of times that the one that sticks out the most in my mind is one time we passed a house as we were walking around town. And it wasn't, again, none of the houses were old. There was nothing old in this town. Our historical home was from like the late 1800s at the earliest. It might have been from like the 1920s.
Turn of the century.
Yeah.
Or the roaring 20s.
I mean, I could look it up right now, actually.
Were there bowler hats back then?
Probably.
When did bowler hats become a thing?
No idea. Not gonna Google that. You can Google that one.
Okay.
I can look up when this house was from. But this isn't even I'm looking this up so that we can put the timeline of this town into perspective. Yeah, so the house and things is from 1901. 1901 was when it became when it went into the names of the people who like died there. So the whole history of the town is literally 120 years old. Not that long considering. Considering New England, for example. But so we would walk. There was a certain house that we would walk past, and every night, my dad would stop us and be like, "Do you see that?" And I never could. But in the window, he said it was, and he said that it was bizarre because it wasn't how the window should work either. It was like the window was lit from the inside, and there was a silhouette of a woman, like just brushing her hair, and it was weird because it was.
Ariel?
I don't know because I could never see it. But he said that there was something about her that looked wrong. And I mean, part of it is straight up that none of the rest of us could see her, so maybe that would be part of it. But what he said was like even if you had actually lit a window from behind and were looking at the silhouette of a woman through it, she wouldn't look like that. So I don't know truly what he meant by that, but that is just something that
Will you type in the name
experienced.
of your hometown?
Oh yeah, secret hometown name. There are a couple, they say, in the historic house that I was talking about. I've only done one tour of it ever, and there's a lot of old shit, but nothing, like, terribly interesting. Blanket Man. Hey, Blanket Man, do you have a ghost story that you want to tell on stream? Viscount Manty is the ghost story. With the real ghost story was the friends we made along the way. Vedas is looking up my hometown to see if there are ghosts in it at all. And it looks like a lot of them are just from nearby towns. Because, our town is basically the youngest.
I did find some information about bowler hats.
Oh, when did bowler hats come into style?
Bowler hats were originally created by the London hat makers Thomas and William Bowler in 1849.
Okay, so...
The bowler hat, also known as a billycock, bob hat, I'm not sure what the accent on the I is, bombine, or derby.
So the man with the bowler hat could have been a traveling ghost, I guess.
And it was popular with the American working class during the second half of the 19th century.
Bob hat sponge fans. I have like a very clear mental image of this man, and I don't think it is from having him described to me. I have been told,
like an imprint.
Yeah, I grew up in a house that believed in ghosts and spirits. I've said that. I've tried to make that as clear as I can. So all of these things are coming technically from a biased perspective. But like the assumptions and things that I have made about people have always, or maybe not always, been right, but have normally been more right than wrong. And sometimes things that I know I shouldn't know. And so that's just one of those things that I assume I know, despite the fact that I shouldn't know it. I know how that man looks. I know how the boy looks. The girl that my mother thought was me on multiple occasions, I don't know what she looks like, but I can see her in my mind's eye.
I have kind of a spooky story, but it's not a ghost story. So that can be the other 0.5.
Oh, okay, we'll round off your 9. Avatar, but not really. I'm a flesh avatar, and everybody knows it.
When we were moving to Montana, we were not in the state yet. We were in a hotel on our way. It took us 5 days to move to Montana from Florida. And I actually dreamed the faces of Roxy and Casey standing in the foyer of Roxy's house. And you're not supposed to be able to do that.
Deja vu is another one of those things that people like often attribute to spirits, or like.
But like I hadn't met them yet.
Yeah. It's just one of those things because like a lot of people will say like there's this really funny like meme post that goes around that's like deja vu platform, you have not been here before, this is your first time no matter what you remember, but it's like I've had many moments like that where I've lived through this moment before.
Yeah.
I know what happens.
They're real busy.
Yeah, and you can attribute that to ghosts, or you can attribute that to, whatever the fuck you want, I guess.
My brain is working in reverse.
We can talk about poltergeists, because we never actually... poltergeists are... Spooky. They're loud.
Scary.
They're noisy.
Violent.
Yes. The poltergeist actually comes from, it's a German word. Do you know what it means?
Well, Geist is ghost.
Uh-huh.
Polter, I don't know.
I think it's noisy. It's like noisy or loud.
I can ask Sarah if she's awake.
Or you could just Google it.
Okay, fine. It's more fun to message Sarah.
I mean, you could also message Sarah. And the earliest case of a poltergeist is recorded somewhere around 654 AD, but I can't find an actual story of it or anything or any. It's just this is the year that we figured it out. This is what we called them, and they again started in Germany, so we've kind of adopted the German word for them. Ooh. And hypothetically, they're not ghosts. They're entities. They're not demons.
So, poltern means rumble.
Ah, yes, rumble
and
ghost.
Polterabend means hen party.
Oh, the ghosts are just at a bachelorette party. I get it. But yeah, because they're rumble ghost.
Are you ready to rumble?
They don't
get pays for the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
There's this belief that ghosts and spirits and demons can attach themselves to people. Poltergeists can only attach themselves to places. And whether or not you believe that that's true, that is just kind of the general consensus.
I should have ordered a haunted doll.
No.
Alright.
That is, I have made haunted dolls. I will not order a haunted doll. Plus, we have a Gooweeje board.
We have a Luigi board.
We're gonna use the Gooweeje board. It's a Gloweeje board. It glows.
5 spooky German ghost stories to keep you awake at night.
Yeah, there are a lot of stories of just like things in farmhouses being thrown around, and you could attribute them to earthquakes, except for the part where things are like flying around in the air, or things catch fire spontaneously. I gotta do one on spontaneous human combustion one of these days. We'll do a phenomena where I just sit and talk about that. But yeah, so, and I mean, obviously the like most prevalent telling of poltergeist is the movie The Poltergeist. Rumblegust. Thank you so much, AS, for clipping
or The
things.
Ram's Inn, which is in the UK somewhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
I only know about it from other TV shows. Aside from the one that we do. We're a television show.
This is your television show. You're watching us. Do you want to? I mean, you could talk. You could give a summary of it while I set up the wee board.
Okay, so the Ram's Head Inn, which I don't know where it is exactly, because I don't remember, is in the UK area with British people, or was it called the Pig's Head? Some sort of animal's head is the inn. You go inside of this animal. No. Does it glow?
The whole thing should glow.
It's plastic.
I'm so sorry, AS. I'm so sorry that you are coming to my horror, like, spooky stream with your dislike of horror things. I will say that this is me knowing 100% that you are my number one fan.
Yeah, supposedly it's pretty haunted, and stuff gets thrown around in the basement. They're like, oh, there's a portal to hell. But I don't believe in hell, because I'm Jewish.
So where does the portal go?
The portal goes to Florida.
I love this thing. I'm like, this board glows in the dark. I wonder if I can tilt the camera enough to... There's the board, and maybe the light on this is pretty strong.
Hard to tell if it's glowing.
If it's glowing, yeah.
I should turn the kitchen light off.
We'll do after stream. We'll see if we can get a picture of it glowing. So I've actually never used a Luigi board because I'm terrified of my own power. And nobody else's.
I'm scared of mean ghosts coming and harassing me.
And I've promised Vedas that if a ghost actually comes, I will personally fight the ghost.
I don't want the ghost to bother my cat.
Yeah, and it won't. It won't.
Or the me.
Or the you. I was trying to find, like, so every time you see, like, a Ouija board in a movie or whatever, the directions are slightly different. So I wanted to see if this
Had
directions.
Hello?
I want you to know that this is copyright 1972.
I can't get a signal.
Weehaw! Oh, that's also not a real story, by the way. The idea that a Ouija board is named after the two words for yes in German and French, that's just a straight up lie.
Also, that's not how you would pronounce it if it was. It would be Weehaw.
I know!
Weehaw.
This is my Ouija board!
Ja.
Okay, yeah.
Mein Name ist...
There's no instructions.
Ich bin 24 Jahre.
I don't speak German. Are you being haunted? You have to tell me if you're haunting me.
Otherwise, it's entrapment.
Okay, let's turn the camera to the board. And Petunia!
She'll protect us.
Yeah.
Yeah, with her little hair
So,
color.
do you remember off the top of your head any Ouija board movie instructions? Like, have you watched any horror movies?
No, but I have watched Celebrity Ghost Encounters a lot.
Okay.
And supposedly you put your fingers on it, and then you spin it around for a little bit.
Oh, are we supposed
And
to
you're supposed to say, like, ghosty, come to the kitchen, ghost.
Is there any dead motherfuckers in my residence, in my home, you do have to tell me.
And then you stop, and it's supposed to eventually just move on its own.
Let's see if it moves on its own. I don't think that this Ouija board is gonna work because it's plastic and glow in the dark.
From 1972.
It's not from 1972.
Oh, 1998.
Yeah. The box says 1998. So yeah.
This Ouija board is almost as old as us.
Oh, we have to dismiss the ghost before moving our hand. Yeah, we do have to keep touching it at all times. I guess unless the ghost yanks it out of our hands,
Which would be rude.
Which would be very rude.
This makes the slight tremble in my fingers really difficult to contend with.
No, I mean it's fine. Let your fingers tremble, whatever. Is there anybody in here besides me, Vetus, and Petunia? Anybody?
This would be a really great opportunity for Ryan or somebody to pop out.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Oh, you took a finger off. We gotta restart.
Okay. It's hard. Are we supposed to touch it here or here?
Should we turn it around?
Should we turn it around? Okay. Should we?
Ghost, you are dismissed from class. And now we ask that you come back, please.
Okay. I feel like you're supposed to say something. Can you recite anything from Lord of the Rings?
No, but I know the Gatorland old commercial jingle.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, should we spin it while we do it?
Yes.
Okay. Take a walk on the wild side. It's such a thrill when they open wide. To get in on the fun, you gotta understand where you belong at Gatorland. You won't be just a spectator. Sit on the back of a real alligator. Take a walk on the wild side. It's wild at Gatorland.
Are there any spirits in our presence? Alligator or otherwise?
Oh no, Rita's the ghost now.
I don't think this thing is on my new network. Alright.
Ghosty.
Hello? Hello?
Ah, it moved.
My favorite thing is in the one of the Ouija movies. You're supposed to be able to see spooky things through the eye hole of the planchette.
It doesn't like your camera.
No, my camera's trying to adjust for the terrible balance.
Ooh!
Oh, it's glowing! Shoot! Okay, hang on. Let's see if we can catch it glowing.
That was the most exciting thing that's happened.
Yeah! You can see the difference between the board and the planchette, because the planchette...
Here, I have an idea. Hold on.
Yeah!
Hold on. Everybody, hold on. Let me get my flashlight.
Maybe this plastic part isn't supposed to be in there? Do we know?
Ooh!
Ace can see the glow. We've succeeded.
I am the ghost of
Oh yeah, you are supposed to have this part in here. So I was like, maybe you don't need to have that. And look at that. Look at that glow. Dang.
That's cool.
Dang. All right.
Is it supposed to go the other way so that this part can be a top?
No, it's
spin it.
Spin.
Beyblades, let it rip.
Oh, G.
Is it the letter it points at or the letter through the eye?
It's the letter it points at.
Oh.
So G for Gator.
Gator. Whoa. Take that, Zach Bagans.
Zach Bacon's wishes. Somebody get Ryan Bergara in here. G again. GG. Good game.
Good game. We got gamer ghosts in this house.
Gamer ghosts in this house.
Please don't trust if it's moving at all right now. It is just because of my arm.
Well, that's a big thing. These things mostly your hands move unconsciously.
Yeah, and I got the shakies a little bit. Not as bad as some others, thankfully.
But even moving your elbow by a little bit can squinge this. You're the ghost now. All right. Well, I think that probably concludes our our fun
Do you
ghost
want to be
stream.
ghosty?
I do want to be ghosty. Subscribe.
Subscribe. Give Rena your money.
Well,
You want to give them money so bad.
if you do want to give me money, my info is in the chat or on my card, liquidrena.com.
Oh, hi, Petunia. Petunia's standing. She wants to be the ghost.
Petunia wants to be the ghost. Petunia. Boop. This little dog.
Where'd her
loves
little
wearing
cowboy
hats.
hat go?
It's somewhere. She's gonna wrangle the ghost for us. Okay. This was really fun, and I would love to do it again sometime if. Oh, thank you. If y'all enjoyed it this much.
So
I laughed so hard. I'm gonna turn the light up so that you can see my little cowboy hat, maybe. Oh God. Yeah, there we go. We have those lights off because it turns us orange. Well, thank you very much. You can find me on
the old trail.
on the old trail or on Twitter at liquidrena, on Instagram and YouTube. I mean, anywhere that you just type in at liquidrena, most likely it is me. And if it's not, please let me know.
Somebody's getting it on your brand.
Somebody's getting it on my brand.
Oh, ghosts.
Oh,
You're dismissed.
oh, yes, please.
Was that rude?
Please go home. I mean, I don't think any of them showed up. It's the same thing as like.
There's no vibes.
Yeah, there's absolutely no vibes in here right now. But I feel like dismissing a ghost that didn't show up is the same thing as like having a party and then nobody comes and you turn off the lights at 9 and you're like, is that rude? Oh, there are instructions in here.
Oh, shit.
Shoot, maybe we should read those.
You want me to read it in a spooky voice?
Sure.
Ouija board. It's only a game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ouija knows all the answers.
It does?
It furnishes never-failing amusement and recreation for the entire family.
That's true. I've been very amused.
Ouija gives you entertainment you have never experienced.
I've experienced this before.
It draws the two people using it into close companionship.
Well, no, that's why I started this stream early, so that we could go a little bit over an hour if we needed to. And we do, because we have the Ouija board instructions.
It is unquestionably the most fascinating entertainment
directions?
for modern people. Okay, 1892. Blah, blah, blah. Backstory, there's lore, get in touch. To begin, place the planchette on the board.
Planchette is on the board.
Sit opposite a partner. Oh, we can't sit next to each other. With the board resting on a table between you.
We can put...
Or, with knees together, place the board atop your combined laps. Do we want to put the board on your dog?
We have to put the board on Petunia.
Then,
There we
you
go.
both place your fingertips lightly on the planchette. Doesn't say where. As you ask the question, the planchette may glide across
May
the board,
glide. No guarantees. Don't fucking email us if this doesn't work.
spelling out surprising messages. How or why it works is a mystery, but
Human
millions
subconscious.
of people have enjoyed using it. Keep an open mind.
Does this little thing glow? It probably does. Let me see. I'm gonna hold it up to the light really quick. You guys are gonna get a real good look at that.
No, I don't
No,
think
it doesn't
does.
glow. Lame. Okay.
Okay, so dog, you are Petunia.
Petunia, you are the Ouija board.
I'm so sorry. Oh, adjust.
She was sleeping. I mean, we're supposed to put it on our knees, yeah?
Yeah, we need to move Petunia entirely.
Okay. Let's put her down. I mean, once we finish stream, she's gonna get what she wants, which is parent time.
Proper attention.
So, yes.
Okay.
Let me tilt the camera so we've got it going on. Okay. Do you want to do something like the first look at her? Should we do something different?
If it fits, it ships anywhere in the country at a low flat rate.
Are there any ghosts here right now?
W.
W for wee board! Hello? If you did something for stream, that would be really cool.
Yeah, then maybe Twitch would give us a ghost tag.
Yeah. Please. Oh, maybe we're not touching it gently enough.
Would you like to move the planchette? Do you like Ghost Adventures?
Are you a fan of Zach Baggins?
Have you been to Zach Baggins' Haunted Museum?
Does he have a haunted
He does, it's in LA!
Oh my god.
Oh no, it's in Las Vegas. I'm sorry, that's wrong.
Wow.
Unless he has two. R-U-A-S.
Oh! Whoa! Whoa! I lost the S! Whoa! What if we just like hold it?
R-E. Okay. Ghosties, are you with us? Wow, that thing's pretty solid.
Yeah. Nope. Haunted mansion in Vegas. Okay. All right. I would love to go there. I actually really enjoy visiting like
I love
haunted,
spooky places. They did an episode where they were in the mansion.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons that I went on the old ghost house tour that I was talking about in my hometown. Petunia's got her cowboy hat on. But yeah, because I would love a ghost. Would love to see them someday. I'm packing up the vegan
We're
board.
cool. The vegan board?
It's a can I buy a Luigi board from a Witcher vegan? Okay, so thank you so much for coming by. Is the mic not picking up captions? Oh no, yes it is.
Ghost, are you messing with the mic? Say yes into the mic.
No, I think the mic is just turned away from us. Okay. If you had fun with this, I'm glad because I want to do it again. If you want to see me doing other things on this channel, I take the term variety streamer very seriously, and I do literally whatever I feel like during my stream times. So tomorrow is date night, or we all get dressed up and we get on Twitch, and we'll see what we're playing. I'm not sure yet. That's about it. Check me out on Patreon, Coffee, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. I was going to say Tumblr. I don't have a Tumblr. I've got Coffee.
Is that how it's said?
Yeah, it's a coffee.
I've always said Ko-Fi.
I love you very much. I hope your vibes are good. I'm going to drop Vetus' info in the chat one more time. Thank you so much for supporting us. Send the link to your friends. I love you very much.